button. I heard the light. I heard the ding, but I don't see the button. I always like to wait. And there it is, live. Hey, hey, internet friends, MagicBrad, SynergyCafe, Synergy Collaborative, quack, quack. I'm going to do another program here. I've got my new friend. His name is Nick, and he also goes by Yogi. Yogi Bauer. Nick, are you there?
I am here. Thanks for having me on today, Brad.
This is fun. So, again, I explained basically, but I'm just going to ask you a few questions about who are you, what do you do, where do you do it, how do you do it, and why do you do it. So we'll start with the first one. Who are you? Or do you have kids? You married? Who are you?
Definitely. My name is Nicholas Yogi Bauer. I'm out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Single, no kids or anything else like that. In December of last year, I quit my job and moved to a yoga ashram in Mexico and studied there for over a month and came back a new person and just wanting to spread my knowledge of self-love and inner bliss.
Very cool. There's a lot of people that are giving up that job thing, realizing that it's not very fulfilling.
Exactly.
So, the next question is, like, what do you do? And you kind of did elaborate on that. You teach yoga and meditation. Is that what you do, or you just do it and then money comes in from the universe or something?
Well, I mean, yeah, right now I don't have a job. I came back and I was thinking about getting a part-time job just, to take care of my daily expenses, but I decided to live the law of attraction and let the universe provide everything that I need. May 16th, I'm getting flown down to Dallas for a weekend to teach somebody yoga, all expenses paid, everything like that. And then May 22nd, I'm getting flown to Europe for 22 days where I'm working extensively one-on-one with somebody while they're teaching in Europe. So it's the moment I let go of the belief that, I have to work for money and all these other things, that the universe started giving me everything I needed.
It's pretty wild how that happens. I've been self-employed all my life, so I've always strategically and intellectually created income opportunities by working and stuff. And now, more than ever, it seems like if you just pay attention to little coincidental signs that happen, it'll direct you in the right way, and it just takes care of itself. It's weird for me because I'm kind of like the old thing of you do a direct mailing and you get 3 to 5% response. Nowadays, it's kind of like if you might not even be delivered.
Exactly.
Just bizarre. So, where do you do this? You said you go to other places, but do you do it? Do you have a studio yourself, or do you just teach locally too, or do online courses maybe?
Right now, I have one group class that's open to the public. It's through Clearwater Outdoors. They have 3 locations in the southeastern Wisconsin, and it's a hiking high adventure store. They have kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, and all stuff like that. I am their in-house yoga instructor for downtown Milwaukee. So once the weather gets a little nicer here in Milwaukee, I'll be doing stand-up paddleboard yoga on the river. And right now on Tuesdays at 6:30. In the 3rd Ward, I teach a group class, which is more focused on breath work. So I really feel like that's a big part that's missing out of modern yoga classes. It's all about the poses and, really making it an exercise. And yoga is so much more than just an exercise. So I really try to bring people back into that space. And then I usually end with a 15-minute guided chakra balancing meditation. So it's a fun class.
On the breathwork part, a good friend of mine, Patrick Wiesman from Minneapolis, I've worked with him and doing breathwork, and some amazing things happen when you do these breathing exercises. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. You can get really high. I don't understand how to put it any other way. It's just a feeling of total ecstasy just within yourself. I call it inner bliss.
I'll share a quick little story. When I was a kid, my parents were alcoholic, and when they'd go out, they'd buy me a Nut Goody candy bar and bring it back, to say, we're sorry that we left you here. And I loved that. I mean, get that sugar high. Well, I was doing a breathwork session with Patrick, and it was about resolving some childhood issues and stuff. And I woke up or came out of the breathwork because you know you kind of get into a almost sleeping out kind of thing.
No.
And then I came back up, and I was just craving a nut goodie, crazy nut. And I thought, well, I got to go to a gas station, get a candy bar or something. But I couldn't find a gas station anywhere. And then I had made a wrong turn, and it ended up going to this Byerly's store in the Golden Valley. And I thought, well, there's got to be a candy bar in there. So I went in there. I go up to the rack, and there's this big, giant six-pack, 6 nut goodies in this big, giant nut goodie. And I'm going, wow, that's mine. And when I bought it, on the way home, I ate about 5 of them. So that also, I must have had that need for whatever it was. So I get the whole breathwork thing.
It's interesting because people think that we lead our life through our minds when our mind is just an electrical file cabinet of memories. Right. So when you did that breath work, you tapped into that part of your brain that releases the serotonin, and it went back to that memory in your brain, and it fired that exact file number. So once that hit, it reminded you of that moment when you got that nut goodie candy bar, and you're like, all the serotonin and everything is going through your brain. You're like, woo, where's my candy bar? So it's you can go back to any time in your life where you had complete ecstasy in your life and just go and push that file number, and just all of a sudden you're in that wonderful state again.
Totally, and I'm finding a huge shift. I just got done working with a guy here that teaches heart-centered meditation, Damon Dickinson. And he showed me that, because I used to take stuff and try and bring energy through my head and down into my heart, and it would go through my head and start logically trying to analyze everything, and I would screw stuff up. So he showed me that you don't have to go that direction, just go directly to the heart. And it's a whole nother way, and like, you know, the heart math stuff where the heart emits about 8 feet where the head only emits about 1 foot.
Oh yeah, I think a good movie to watch is I Am by Tom Shadyac. They do a lot of the heart math stuff, but I believe one of the statistics they said that the radio waves, or the vibrations, your heart can put out about 5,000 times more than your brain can.
Right, exactly, and that's what I've been doing, is trying to think with my heart, which is weird to a man that thinks logically and all that kind of stuff, but it's getting good. So I got another question, and that is, like, how do you do your work? Do you do it in like workshops, or is it actually like a yoga class with the mats and all that kind of thing, like the Bikram where it's super hot, or how do you do your work?
Yeah, most of my clients right now are in-home clients. So actually tomorrow I have a group. One woman took one of my in-home classes with somebody else, one of her friends. And she was like, well, I would love to put something together, and I have a couple friends that are interested. And I said, well, if you can get 4 people together, it's $20 a person. If you can get 6 people, it's $15. If you can get 10, it's $10 a person. So you get a little bit of a break the more friends you get together, because ideally I would love to get to a point where I can just do this for free and everything like that.
1,000 people for $1.
Yeah, exactly. It's I just need to get my expenses covered to get there, and then after that, I just want to teach. So I really open it up to anyone that wants to learn. My style is very more of a spiritual, finding that self-love, focusing on the breath. I'll do a lot of the hatha style, so you get like a lot of the flowy poses and everything else like that. But I really focus on doing things that are going to work for the individual, and really making it so that they can build their own practice.
Okay, I've got my favorite question, my last question, and then I want to just talk about some stuff and ask you some other questions and see what you got going on and coming up and all that. But my favorite question, and I think this is going to be good for you because you pulled the plug on a job and went and sat and meditated. Why do you do what you do? Why aren't you like a martial arts instructor or a Starbucks barista or a car mechanic or a ski instructor? Why are you doing this?
Well, I have dial back about 4 years, I found out that I have TMJ disorder, which is temporal mandibular joint disorder, which attacks your joint, and it's a chronic pain disorder. I had migraines constantly, so bad that it blurred the vision in my right eye. And I went to doctors for a year and a half. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. They kept giving me all these drugs, and I was just like, look, none of this is working. Finally figured out that it was TMJ, but before that, I had been introduced to yoga, and at first I was like, I don't know about this, but eventually I started incorporating into my daily routine, and I had been practicing yoga for about 3 years, just on my own. And last December, I was working for a beer distributor, which is a wonderfully fun job. You know, I got to party all the time, eat for free, all of these things. And I was making money and I was having fun, but it just didn't fulfill me. It didn't fill my cup. And I was just sitting there one day and I was like, what are you doing here, man? Like, this isn't doing it for you. Why are you wasting your time? So yoga teacher training had been something that had been on my mind for probably a year while I was writing my book, and I just decided, well, when else are you going to do it? It's winter time. Mexico sounds pretty awesome. Let's go do this. So I quit my job and left, and it was one of the best decisions.
Virtual high five.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Love that. Well, here's the final part of it, and if you got any projects that you got coming up that you want to share, but I was kind of curious, are you planning like do you have any interest in doing like retreats or something like that in some tropical place like Tulum, Mexico, or Bali or something like
Definitely.
that?
I actually just started working with Courtney Engel over at the Travel Yogi. It's sponsored by Giami, and she books retreats all over the world. And it's definitely something that I want to do right now. In Dallas on the 17th, I'm working on putting a workshop together. I mean, it's not a tropical destination or anything like that, but it'd be a fun place to start doing retreats there because I have a base of people there that know me already, so it'll be easy to get a following started there.
So I asked because before I got married, I had this idea where I was going to retire in Bali, and I was going to get all sorts of yoga enthusiasts into a huge database, and then anybody that, like yourself, that wanted to do a retreat in Bali and was looking for people that wanted to attend it, I would just be able to pull the trigger and send an email on the specific date and fill the retreat, boom, just like that. And,
yeah, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, and there's some cool connections I've got over in Bali because of that. There's a place called Floating Leaf that does retreats, and they actually help promote the retreat. You have to coordinate and get all the people and stuff, but they help promote it. And it's sort of like an all-inclusive kind of thing. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely have to talk about that.
Also, there's some stuff in Tulum, Mexico. There's a couple of spaces down there that they do heart-centered retreats.
Ooh,
so
okay.
Absolutely, we'll stay in touch on that. So, Cher, do you have anything that you got coming up that you want people to know about?
Definitely. So like I said, it was a little over a year ago I started writing this book, the TMJ Survival Guide. And this chronicles my story of overcoming the chronic pain. This is my layout book for my designer that she just gave me. I'm hoping to have it released by the end of July. I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter campaign when I get back from Europe, offering a discount on the book if you sign up early, and then also getting my own yoga blocks and yoga mats and water bottles and my own line of men's yoga wear, because there's not a lot of fun yoga wear for men out there right now. It's mostly all black or one color or something like that. So when I was at my retreat and when I was training, a lot of the guys that were there were like, yeah, man, you can't find any cool yoga wear for dudes. It's all like all the women get all these like cool prints and tank tops and all that other stuff, and we just get regular stuff.
That's interesting because here there's a place called Little Volcano, and they started making yoga pants for women that were totally bizarre patterns, totally different than your typical yoga wear.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you want to do something that's more cool and more masculine. for the men.
Yeah,
And,
just have some more fun. I mean, as you can tell, I like colors and prints and all sorts of stuff like that. So.
So you said you're going to develop like water bottles and stuff like that are along the line of your TMJ book, or?
No, well, those are all for Yogi Bauer, but it just ways for so we can get funding for the book, because I would like to do the book as inexpensive as possibly to the end consumer. I don't want it to be a $20 book, but I also want it to be a quality book. I did over 75 illustrations for the book that my designer is redoing them so that they all look kind of uniform, because my stick figures aren't as beautiful as they could be.
So are you open to any like online marketing help?
Yeah, definitely. My website is yogibauer.com. You can
No, in
find
fact,
me on.
I meant from me. I got an idea for you.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
And the first thing is, like, when I see a lot of people that are not marketing savvy, they haven't been doing it for a while, and the first thing they think about is discounting something, whereas it contracts. Whereas if you add value, it expands. So with your book, you can, instead of offering a discount for person to buy it, add value by giving them one of your water bottles or something. So
yeah, no. For the Kickstarter campaign, it's just those are for early adopters. So people that help fund for the production of the book, they get it. They get like $5 off on the book.
Oh, is that something that's in the Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah.
Oh, it's out of your control then.
It's not going to be done.
I always like to add value as opposed to discounting.
Help get the production done.
That's something that whenever you discount something, you're discounting the value of it. Just psychologically, and so I always like to add value instead. Anyways, so that's it. I'm gonna shut this bad boy off, and we're done for today. But we can do another one further down the road. But if you want to hang on, we can chat a little bit further. So,
yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for watching Yogi Bauer, and thank you, Yogi, for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and gifts. Peace, love, and happiness.
Yeah.
MagicBrad signing off.
Thanks, Brad.